from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're doing our shaky cam interior review inside a 2016 Chevrolet Camaro. Bitchin' Camaro. I won't sing the song, I swear. It's going to be hard, but I am going to refrain from singing the song. Anyway, let's get to it because this is a great car. You've probably seen our interior review of the 2016 Corvette. You'll see a few similarities here, but a lot of differences. Two very different classes of car. But there are some sort of interchanged parts. So over here you have the mirrors and the windows. Note the windows. There are only two buttons for it, but there are actually four windows. So if you use this, that's the main window, and then pushing this one, that's the little side windows, the tiny little ones in the back. Those make a big difference on the highway. So if you have the top down and you're driving on the highway, if you have all these windows up, it makes a nice kind of a sanctuary tunnel inside the car so that you can carry on a conversation and stuff even at 75 miles an hour. Very, very nice. They did a good job with the aerodynamics for that. Here is the door. When you stop and you haven't shut off the engine or anything, you pull this once and it unlocks the door, and then you pull it again and it will open the door. That's just kind of an FYI. Some people have a little bit of trouble getting used to that. And then this is the air vent. All the air vents in here, there are four of them. All the air vents inside the car, the main vents here, look like this. And they're really cool and functional. This opens and closes it, and then this moves. You can move this around, and it has a honeycomb behind it. It creates a vortex of air, so the air spreads out instead of just shooting in a stream. Something that we've seen in some other cars like BMW and so forth. And I'll show you some more on that because they're the main vents on the console have other things that they can do. Looking at the steering wheel and stuff, here you have your lighting controls. Over here your washer wipers, and then over here you have your cruise controls. You might recognize this from, say, the Chevy Cruze or any other Chevrolet product. In fact, the Corvettes looks exactly the same. And over here you have the controls that control that up there. So that driver information screen is controlled with this. You have several things you can do with the upgrade. So you can look at things like tire pressures, trip meters. It shows you G-forces, lots of stuff. It's very useful. So when you get into one of these, you should page through these and check it out because there's a lot of cool stuff. I was doing some cornering and using the G-force to see what it was looking like. And then down here you have the controls that basically run the infotainment screen. These can do different things. When you're on audio, they'll switch between favorite channels depending on what type of audio you're on, XM, FM, whatever. And then over here you have your audio actual volume controls down here. On the instrument cluster, pretty straightforward but very nicely done because you can't really tell now because of where the light's coming in and hitting the camera lens, but very glare resistant on this cluster, and also very easy to see. This car does not have a heads-up display, and it's very easy to see the tachometer specifically as you're driving. I've been using this unless I want to see G-force or something, and the reason I've been doing that is because this is easier to read than that when you're just quickly making a glance to see what your numbers are. So over here, your tachometer, fuel, engine heat, whatever you want, and speed. And then down here are little things like you can see the cruise control is on, and then if I turn it off, it goes away. I'm in sport mode. There's also touring mode and snow and ice mode. And then, just a few pieces of information down in there. Very quick display, easy to use. Moving over here, this is a push button start, and then we'll see here the infotainment. This is the upgraded infotainment. The screen is a little bit smaller in the other packages that aren't upgraded. Lots of great stuff. Chevy's really pushed up the bar in how they do their infotainment, and it's a very nice system. I like the way it's done. There are a few things that bother me. First off, you have to use OnStar for your navigation, which is annoying. I prefer to just put in stuff and go, and you can't really do that with the OnStar nav. I could not find a toggle for that. I looked and looked. I was hoping to find a toggle to turn that off, and I can't find it. And the fact that I can't find a memory stick or anything like that for the navigation tells me that the car does not have onboard navigation at all. But other than that, most everything else works really awesome. If you have the right kind of phone and app, you can project your phone onto the screen. That's what I did for navigation when I needed it. Otherwise, there's just a lot of useful stuff, and it's quick to use. So audio is very self-explanatory. Phone is very self-explanatory. When you first get in the car to pair a phone, if you push phone and there is no phone paired with it, it'll ask you if you want to. That's the fastest, most straightforward way to set up a Bluetooth that I've seen. And some manufacturers are starting to do that. I'm glad to see, because it's just intuitive. So lots of stuff on the infotainment screen. It's a touch screen, plus you have these buttons here for quick stuff. So this is the main menu here when you push this, and you can quickly jump, and this is audio control and back, so you can kind of see what's going on. Down here is your climate controls. So you can see I have the temperature set to the usual, and here's your vent control. Turn it on and off with this big button. This is the auto button, so you automatically that temperature, it just automatically does whatever to make it happen, and so forth. Here you have your defrost buttons, and then here's the big vents in the car. And these have more diffusers than those do, because they just don't shoot right on you. Like, I would notice it on my bare leg here and can't feel it at all. This outer ring is how you set that temperature there, and then this outer ring sets the fan speed, so you turn it to set the fan speed. Very cool, and you quickly get the idea using it. But I really like that. It's just kind of a cool use of what's in the car. Hazard lights here, which keep you from putting your phone up here, which is a good spot for it otherwise. But when you put your phone up here and then you go into any of the upper gears, so first, third, whatever, you hit that and then it turns on your hazard lights. Kind of annoying. So you can't put your phone here. But this is the manual transmission. This is a 6-speed manual. There is also an automatic option. I want to note the shifting. So shifting like this is pretty standard, right? So that's first gear, that's second gear, etc. To get into reverse, you pull it over once, right? And then you pull it over twice, so you tap it like that, right? So I tapped it, and now I'm in reverse. And you'll know you're in reverse because that will turn into a big R, and your reverse screen, which this is a very clear camera, I love this backup camera, will come on. But just kind of a cool thing. Instead of having a lift or a push or something like that, you just tap it over like that. And you get very, very used to doing that. And it's really awesome because you don't accidentally shift into first when you're downshifting, doing some speed or something, making a slow corner or something like that, a rolling start, whatever. Very, very cool. I really like this. Here you have a 12-volt, yada yada, and then drink holders. There's no sunglass holder in this car because it's a convertible, so I don't have a place to put the sunglasses up there, so I've been kind of dropping my cheap glasses here. Those of you who do something like what I do for a living will understand why $5 sunglasses are always superior to $100 sunglasses. Namely, when they get left in a car, they get sat on, or they get stolen, you don't care. Water holder here, this is for my kids, because these are the only drink holders in the car, even though there is sort of a back seat. And here's your cubby, not very deep. This is a rear-wheel drive car, so the shaft is running down. Now this is the LT1 package, so it has cloth seats, and I really, really like these cloth seats. They look very basic, look pretty simple, but the bolstering is just right. The how soft they feel is excellent, and then in the summer heat, it's just hard to beat cloth. The only thing that would be better is if they had a vent, but otherwise these are really awesome seats. I really like them. Then you can see the dashboard design. Kind of a simplistic but very well done. I really like the concave here, and just the way it the way it looks and the way it feels is kind of, this is hard material, but it feels soft. When you just touch it, it feels soft. You have to push on it to know that it's hard. And then of course the glove box. And the back seats. I still have car seats in here. I have to take those out, but those are the back seats back there. My kids, who are 5 and 6, they fit back there just fine. I would not attempt to put adults in the back. And a couple of other things. You see the edgeless mirror. I really like that. And then up here, this is what actually runs the top. So you see, just vaguely see, this peels off. It has a pull tab, but this right here is the don't put your hand up here while it's closing, blah blah. But anyway, this runs the convertible there. So I'm just really impressed with this car. I didn't expect a lot out of this, honestly. When I was told that I was going to be getting a Camaro, I did not expect a ton out of this car, because I've driven the Corvette, I've driven Jaguars, I've driven a lot of sports vehicles, and Alfa Romeo 4C, things like that. I've driven a lot of sports vehicles, and I really did not expect much out of this. I expected it to be Mustang level, and I believe that it is at least Mustang level. I would say that in some respects, particularly the interior, especially seat comfort, this is better than a Mustang. There are some things that are worse, but I will give the new V6 in this, which is this is the V6 putting out about 335 horsepower and a good amount of torque, and it's early torque. I really like this engine, and I would say it's better than Ford's V6 in their Mustang. And that's not just the engine, it's a combination of the engine, the wonderful transmission, especially this 6-speed manual in here, and the way that they've, I'm guessing it's a differential tuning, but something in the drivetrain just feels really good. You never feel unstable in this car, which is a testament, because a rear-wheel drive sports car, they just inherently feel squirrely, and this does not at all. Very, very well done. I really like this car. So that's about it. This has been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com in a 2016 Chevrolet Camaro. Talk to you again soon.